This is one of the most affordable G-Shocks and it packs a ton of features, but is it worth adding to your collection? What's good, bro? I'm Louis Gusto. Welcome to another watch review. Today we're checking out this bad boy. It's the Casio G-Shock DW9052. We'll talk about the materials, the features, and how I feel about this watch. But before we get into that, make sure you finesse that like button, subscribe for more videos just like this, and drop a comment. What's your favorite G-Shock model? The G-Shock DW9052-1V retails for $74.95 and comes in a basic G-Shock box. That's a black paperboard box with a red G-Shock wordmark logo, a gray dot gradient. Inside, you'll find the watch nestled on a black plastic watch stand with label and instruction manual. There are a variety of options when it comes to the DW9052. This particular model features a resin case with a stainless steel back, a mineral glass crystal, and a resin strap with a stainless steel pin and buckle closure. The DW9052 measures 48.5 millimeters lug to lug. It's got a case width of 43 millimeters, a case thickness of 14.7 millimeters, and the watch weighs 59 grams. Like I mentioned, the watch crystal is made from mineral glass and it features 5 buttons, 2 on either side of the case and 1 on the front of the case labeled with a red G. And now let's take a closer look at the watch face. We'll start with the outer part of the case. There are 4 gray plastic lugs with screws inside. On the outer part of the bezel is the G-Shock lettering in red. On either side of the case, there are 2 protrusions inside which you can find the plastic buttons. All 4 of these buttons are labeled adjust, mode, split reset, and start stop. On the front of the case is a button with a red G. That mineral crystal is a circular segment beneath which you can find an LCD screen divided into 4 parts, 3 bars and a circle. In the main timekeeping mode, that bottom bar will give you the time of day in 12 or 24-hour mode. It also has an icon for the flash alert feature. The middle bar and the circle will count up the seconds in main timekeeping mode, and that top bar shows you the icons for the alarm and chime, as well as the day of the week, the month, and the date. On top of that LCD screen is a gray dial with the Casio word mark, shock resist, water resist 200 meters in red. Around that circle, you have Arabic numerals starting from 10 and going all the way to 50. And finally, surrounding all that is a black border with the Illuminator branding, as well as many more button labels. And now let's talk about the features of the DW9052. Pretty standard really when it comes to G-Shock watches. Nothing out of the ordinary here. You got a stopwatch, countdown timer, daily alarm with flash alert feature, the electroluminescent backlight, main timekeeping mode in 12 or 24-hour mode, and a full auto calendar. It is water resistant up to 20 bar, aka 200 meters. Now that we got the features and tech specs out of the way, let's check out how the Casio G-Shock DW9052 looks on my 7.5-inch wrist. The Casio G-Shock DW9052 is one of the more affordable G-Shock watch models. It's a standard digital watch with many features that you've come to expect from the Casio G-Shock line. You've got a stopwatch, a countdown timer, daily alarm, flash alert feature, hourly chime, full auto calendar, and of course that beautiful electroluminescent backlight. It retails for about $75, but you can frequently find it cheaper on sites like Amazon. And if you do want to add it to your collection, I will have an affiliate link in the description below. I was able to pick it up for around $50, and that's pretty much always how I find it. It comes in a variety of colors. This one is all black with some red lettering. There's a lot going on the face, but that's pretty standard with these G-Shock models. So let's talk about what I love about this watch. It's a pretty good looking watch, pretty iconic when it comes to G-Shock. It's popular for a reason. It's definitely one of their best sellers. Unlike some of the cheaper Casio watches, it has a countdown timer, nice electroluminescent backlight, and that flash alert feature comes in handy. For example, I use it in the gym when I'm counting down my rest periods in between sets. Not only do I hear the beep, but I can see the little screen flashing with that electroluminescent backlight. Of course, being a G-Shock watch, it's gonna feel sturdy. It's gonna be accurate, reliable, last you a very long time. That's the reputation that these G-Shock watches have. I do like the various divisions on the LCD screen, that middle bar and that circular segment counting up the seconds. It's a really cool feature. You can kind of get lost in looking at your watch. It's something to distract you if you're on the subway or waiting at the doctor's office and you don't want to use your phone. You could just look at the DW9052 and watch those seconds tick away. This is a watch that can fit with many different outfits. Because of the black resin with the red lettering, you can pair it with pretty much anything that's sporty. It's not gonna be too bold, too bright. It's not gonna clash with a lot of things. Some of the other G-Shock models that come in those bold, bright colors, you can only wear them with specific clothes. This is not a watch that I would wear to a high-end restaurant or to a museum gallery opening, but I would wear it washing my dog, of course going to the gym, running errands, doing work around the house, editing videos, all that standard stuff. Now, given that it's an affordable G-Shock and it's very popular, is it something that you should add to your collection? If you are a G-Shock collector, I think the DW9052 is essential to have in your watch box. If you're looking at maybe owning 1 or 2 G-Shock models, then I wouldn't necessarily go for the DW9052. It does have a lot of cool features, but there are a few things that I don't like about it. And I'll start with those lugs that have that gray plastic around them. I really don't like the way that looks. To me, it makes the watch look cheap. And it's not an inexpensive watch. It retails for $75. So having something like that on the watch case, it kind of makes it look like a $20 or $30 model. Although sometimes I do complain about a lot of words on the Casio watch faces, I think all the wording looks very symmetrical on this watch, so it really doesn't take away from the beauty of this watch. And overall, while I do like the design of the case, it's kind of got like a floral look to it, I really don't like the buttons inside those protrusions. I've complained about the DW5600 buttons being a little more difficult to push. This one is really no exception. Because those buttons are in those protrusions, I have fat fingers, so pushing them is a little bit difficult. I kind of gotta make an imprint on my finger just to touch the button. So I'm not sure that's much of an improvement over the depressed metal buttons. I think the size of this watch is great for my 7.5-inch wrist. It doesn't wear too big or too small on my wrist. Being a G-Shock, this is one that you can really put through the ups and downs of life. You can bang it into walls, against weight plates, you can drop it, and it's pretty much never gonna stop working unless you attack it with an Uzi. Another design element I do like about this watch is the little stainless steel balls that are on each of the protrusions. That's really cool. So even though the buttons are a little bit more difficult to push, overall, I do like the design of this watch. If I were to add it to my collection, I would probably grab another color. The black one with red lettering is just a bit too plain for my taste. I like G-Shocks with the bold colors if they're gonna have a more simple design like this. But those are just my personal opinions. Overall, I can definitely recommend this watch. It is a Casio G-Shock. You know it's gonna be a good investment. It's a watch that's gonna stand the test of time. It's gonna last you many years. You can probably gift it or hand it down to somebody else in your life. And if you could snag it for around $50, I think it's an incredible value. So while it's not my favorite G-Shock watch necessarily, I still think a lot of people are gonna like this watch. It's popular for a reason. But I do wanna know your thoughts. Drop it in the comments below. Is the DW9052 a watch that's in your collection, or are you planning on adding it sometime soon? Put it in the comments below and we'll chat. Like I said, I do have an affiliate link in the description below in case you wanna add the Casio G-Shock DW9052 to your collection. As always, I appreciate you watching, bro, and I will see you next time. But for now, I'm out of here. Peace.